let me offer a few reflections on what we've had the opportunity to talk about together here today. I think the best reflections typically come with the passage of a little bit of time, but I think there are a few thoughts that we can focus on right away. There's many things that have brought us together today, but of course the central theme of the day is artificial intelligence and what it means for the future of humanity. And I would first note that I think in many ways, historians may subsequently look back and look at 2023 as a momentous year for technology, in part because of what we're here to talk about today, but also because of technology and its pace of development. Some years stand out more than others. I was an early employee in my career at Microsoft in 1995 when all of a sudden the browser was born and the internet captured the imagination and indeed changed the course of history around the world. In 2007, 12 years later, the iPhone was invented, and the use of smartphones was never the same again. AI has been with us for a long period of time, and as you have heard, it has been accelerating, but I believe that 2023 is a year when, in all probability, it will burst into public use and capture the public imagination in much the same way these other devices did. That makes today's meeting all the more important. Every day I marvel at the advances that AI is bringing, and I appreciate the good that it can do for the world. And one of the things we've seen today is the common perspective of three great religions. Great religions that are founded on a common appreciation for the importance of the advancement of knowledge, but also an appreciation that this knowledge must be used in ways that serve the good of humanity and avoid creating new risks for people. One of the things I get to see in my job is the benefits that AI can bring, including for the world's poorest. A few months ago, I was in India, and I had the opportunity to spend some time with a nonprofit that we're working with called SEEDS. It stands for Sustainable Environmental and Ecological Development. And what this group does with AI that we help support is amazing. Every year in India, 2 million homes are destroyed. 10 million people are rendered homeless because of storms or excessive heat. But with the use of satellite imagery, AI has been put to work. It can identify the composition of the roofs of every home, and it rightly infers that if a roof is made of thatch, then the walls are probably made of mud. And that home is especially susceptible to a storm. If the roof is made of concrete, then the walls similarly are probably made of cement. And that home is especially susceptible to excessive heat. Armed with this data and the power of the inference of AI, this nonprofit can work with students who go out and warn people in their homes. And they help people with even simple steps like taking a burlap bag to cover a roof and help lower the temperature during a heat wave. AI is saving lives of some of the world's poorest people. That is the promise that this technology brings. But as Father Bonatti noted, the history of technology teaches us that unfortunately, the future is not simply following a yellow brick road to a promise that good things will happen. Long ago, I think in our ancient past, someone somewhere was the first person to invent a broom. And no doubt they invented it to sweep a floor. And then someone else realized that you could take a broom and hit someone over the head. And that, I think, is the theme, in part, of what we have all been talking about today. How do we ensure that this new technology serves humanity and is created and governed by humanity? The Rome call for AI ethics, I believe, is of fundamental importance to the world because it really stands for a few different things. One is the three parts that I've always admired about its architecture. It calls for ethical safeguards to govern the use of AI, to ensure that it's transparent, that it's inclusive, that it's controlled and governed with human interests in mind. But second, it calls on us to remember the importance of using AI with a broad perspective on its societal impact, to think about what it will do for people and their jobs, to ensure that it serves everyone. And third, the Rome Call is unique in that it focuses not only on the service of people, but the sustainability of our planet. It brings us all together. But it needs to be a broad tent, and that's why today is such an important milestone. It needs to bring all of the world's people together. And bringing together three great religions that have more than 3 billion followers is a critical step in this process. But you might ask, why am I here? Why is Microsoft here? Why is IBM here? Why have we been part of this effort since the beginning? I think the reason is clear. This technology is too important to be left to the technologists alone. It's too important to be left to technology companies alone, but it's also too important for this kind of effort to move forward without the active involvement of the people who are creating the technology. It's only by bringing us all together that we can work together to create a common understanding of what we need to do. But of course, at the end of the day, as important as the inspiration is that will guide us all, we need to make the Rome Call real. And that will require not just the world's great religions and technology companies, it will require the people who make laws and who regulate technology. It will require implementation by everyone who uses technology around the world. And that's why this broad tent and this active involvement of so many groups is so important. So today is a day in a process. It's a day that follows many other days over the course of the last several years that I and we have been privileged to be a part of. It is a day that is a part of a process that will continue, that can reach around the world and bring more people together. It is a day that is a part of a process that will need to lead to increasingly concrete efforts that will make the Rome Call real. But as I look forward to all of those days, and I look forward to our company being a part of this and partnering and supporting all of you, I am particularly reminded by one phrase that Pope Francis used when he did speak just a few minutes ago. I thought it was a wonderful statement. What he said is that we were here today in part to create a culture that I think can sweep around the world and speak to everyone on the planet, using his word, a culture that places this technology at the service of the common good of all and of the care of our common home. That is the moral compass, I think, for everyone in every religion, for everyone of every background. And if we can use that as our North Star, we can continue along this journey and we can do something that the world needs for the future. Thank you.